Hey everyone, it's Brett Hornby here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And on the road to make my Calgary Stampeders game day video post. We're up to week number 15 in the 2024 CFL regular season. This game will feature the Calgary Stampeders back home at McMahon Stadium against the Montreal Alouettes, and I think this is going to be a really tough game for my Calgary Stampeders. This game will be on Saturday, September the 14th. Be a 5 p.m. Mountain kickoff. The reason why I think this is going to be a tough one for my Calgary Stampeders because we're on both ends of the spectrum. As the Montreal Alouettes, they are first in the East Division, first overall in the CFL, with a 10-2 record, and they've actually already have clinched a playoff spot. We still got a third of the season to go. Well, my Calgary Stampeders, oh man, we are last in the West Division, 5th place, now at 4-8. So we are outside looking in, unfamiliar position the Calgary Stampeders are in, but what's looking like right now be the first time since 2004 the Calgary Stampeders might miss the playoffs, and it sucks to lose to Edmonton anytime, but Calgary lost both games on Labor Day weekend. The last game the Calgary Stampeders lost last week up in Edmonton, it was 37-16 against the Elks, and the only touchdown we scored was on defense on a Mike Rose interception. Well, actually, the Montreal Alouettes, they're also coming off of a rare loss, as they lost 37-23 against the BC Lions. And my preseason pick at the start of the year was it was going to be a BC Montreal Grey Cup, and I think BC would win it, and I'm still sticking to that. But you got both teams on opposite ends of the spectrum, and Calgary's lost 4 in a row, and 5 of the last 6. It felt like the last third of the season came off the rails when they got destroyed in Ottawa, and then that game that they won, I think it was if I recall, I think it was 26-22 against Toronto. We had to score 16 in the fourth quarter to come back. I mean, Calgary has not blown anyone away, because of the 4 games that we won, the largest margin of victory has been 8, and that was the home opener against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. So Calgary has been lately look like we've been off the rails, and the offense hasn't been as productive. I mean, last week Logan Bonner was thrown in the fire, and he threw 5 interceptions. So Calgary's going back to Jake Maier, and I'm going to say with who we have on the roster, that's our best option at quarterback. I mean, Matt Schultz actually is back active on the roster. I mean, we did sign him for depth and veteran presence, but he's actually spent most of the season on the injured list with an ankle injury. So he's back on the active roster as he's active. So we have Jake Maier, and as well we have our short starter specialist in Tommy Stevens and Matt Schultz. And then Trey Roberson, I see, is back in the lineup for the secondary. But we still, are fairly healthy. I mean, we still got Reggie Bagleton, and we have Dedrick Mills and Peyton Logan on offense, and on their defense. I mean, things just look to be out of sync with my Calgary Stampeders right now, despite having some talented individuals on the team. On the Montreal side of the ball, well, we're going to not have a Philpott brother battle, because we still have Jalen, but Tyson actually is out for the rest of the year. So we're not going to look forward to that on the Montreal side of the ball. But I mean, Montreal, they're even with the loss last week, they're on a 19-2 run, including the playoffs and winning the Grey Cup last year. So Cody Fajardo still looks like he's in his MVP form, and then you got Walter Fletcher on the running back. And then I keep hearing that Austin Mack is coming back for Montreal, but right now I'm going to say this game, I'm hoping is not going to be ugly for my Calgary Stampeders. I mean, we did lose by 4 points in Montreal earlier this season, but it wasn't until that Ottawa game in Ottawa when we lost 33-9. That's just kick off the second third of the season. That's when this ugliness has begun. And I say, if you break up the season in thirds by 6 games, well, the last 6 games were 1-5, and the only reason we won that one game is because we came back in the fourth quarter. Yeah, we did lose that game on a last-second field goal when Ottawa came to Calgary after when I literally came back from Toronto from my vacation. Hopefully don't blame me for going on vacation in Toronto. We haven't won since then, but this team, I'm going to say they still need to find themselves. This could be a test. Upsets could still happen, but that's how I'm feeling as a Calgary Stampeders fan right now. Yeah, it sucks to lose to Edmonton, but it sucks even more how we looked in both Labor Day and the rematch. That I think this team is going to miss the playoffs, and or forget about hosting a home playoff game, because if you look at the tie breaks for in the standings, well, Winnipeg and Edmonton now have the tie break on the Calgary Stampeders, because Winnipeg, we split with Winnipeg by winning in overtime and then losing in the point differential battle in the game returning to Winnipeg. And then we had 2 out of 3 against Edmonton, and they've already got 2 on us. So there's 2 teams right there. We still got one more game against the BC Lions to kick off October in BC to decide that season series. And then we still got Saskatchewan, that'll be the next home game for next game, and it'll be at home against the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and they're also reeling too. So if you ask me right now, in the middle of September, I think the 6 teams that will make the playoffs this year in 2024 are the 6 teams in playoff spots right now. I think you got BC, Winnipeg, and I'm going to say Edmonton. I think they're on a roll right now. That I think they are going to start playing both Calgary and Saskatchewan in the West. Out east already, Montreal's clinched the playoff spot. Ottawa, I think, can clinch the playoff spot if they beat Hamilton today. And Toronto, well, they won actually yesterday against the BC Lions. So I think the Montreal, Toronto, and Ottawa will be in the playoffs out east. And out west, I think right now is going to be BC, Winnipeg, and I think Edmonton is going to get in there on how they have looked. So I guess the last thing to touch on is, for a nice touch, we're into September and getting towards the end of September for the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. This is Indigenous night, so that's the theme for this game. And Calgary actually has a nice Indigenous-inspired logo for Calgary Stampeders, and members of the team went out to the ranch, and ambassador for Calgary Sports Entertainment, former Calgary hitman who was from Tutina Nation, Brent Dodging Horse. So there's going to be some Indigenous theme. This game actually is going to be broadcast in, I believe, in Blackfoot for the Indigenous. So it's definitely been a nice initiative that we've been seeing a lot more in sports. And apparently there's going to be some Indigenous music at halftime. So I think I'll try to capture that. It's not a hot day today, so my phone should be able to handle it. So at least we got that to look forward to. I'm just hoping that this one won't be ugly for my Calgary Stampeders, but at least it's an Indigenous night. Let's hope we can, show some encouraging signs that maybe the last third of the season the Stampeders can prove me wrong. I mean, we only made the playoffs last year with a 6-12 record because Edmonton and Saskatchewan were so bad, and we won the season series again, and we won the games we needed to, but we're not going to have that this season. So close it out. To see if you want to follow along with this Calgary sports fans journey, just make sure you hit like and subscribe. I have my other social media links down in the description below. I'm always a Calgary Stampeder fan. I'm always proud to be a Calgary Stampeders fan. It's always my team. Same with all Calgary sports, but I have to keep it real that this one could be ugly tonight on the field. But we'll see how Calgary will play against the top team in the league, the defending Grey Cup champions, and you know, maybe this will be a rallying to have a better last third of the season. But something's just not lining up on the field, at the sideline. I think inevitably there's going to be some changes up and down throughout the organization, but you know, we've made the playoffs every year starting in 2005. I mean, 2004, the last time the Stampeders missed the playoffs. That was still in the reign of the F-Troop days. City was still recovering from the hangover from the Calgary Flames playoff run. Ralph Klein was still the mayor, or not the mayor, the premier of Alberta. Dave Bronconnier was still the mayor, and we were still run by a liberal government, but Paul Martin was prime minister. So that gives you an idea how long ago that was when the Calgary Stampeders last missed playoffs. So I'll just say, go Stamps go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.